Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm good. How have you been? So you are in the middle of nowhere. You're in Wisconsin or Montana. Tell me where
That's
you're at.
correct. Yeah, I'm in Montana.
That must be so nice. And for those who don't know, you are filming your show, and you're one of very few people who have been privileged to get back to work and do this. So I have so many questions for
Yeah.
you. Let's just tell me to start. What is that like? What is that like post COVID or during COVID, really?
Yeah, so we're in a little COVID bubble. Um, but yeah, I feel really safe and it's like you said, we're just really grateful to be back at work. These are people that I've worked with for 4 years now. Um, so I think that kind of, the morale is really up on set and we're almost finished actually. So I'll go back to New York in a couple weeks.
For you, are you guys picking up where you left off in terms of like you had started the season, or if you started the season now?
So we had already finished season three,
Okay.
and started season four in August. But Fargo actually was we were in the middle of shooting.
Oh wow. And have you finished that now and you had to go back, or how did that work? Or
Yeah, so that's it. They managed to get it all done, and it just started airing a couple weeks ago.
that's incredible. I mean, so you've filmed two shows during all of this, which is like unheard of. I mean,
Yeah, it's been a really wild year. Yeah, with like a nice 6 month break in between, I guess.
and what are some of the stuff besides the obvious? There must be hand sanitizer everywhere, but what are some of the procedures that have made the experience really different than before? Um,
You know what I'll say actually is, I mean, there's obviously all these safety procedures, COVID protocols that we follow, but it also has created, just like an even stronger sense of community because, we've all experienced this really, we're in really strange times. And I think to kind of be able to process it together is a really powerful thing. So yeah, I feel like it actually it made our set, our community better.
Um, you are literally like in two hit shows. You're a Louis Vuitton girl. I mean, you are just the most wanted and the most beautiful.
Oh my, oh my
How does
goodness.
that feel? I mean, you're literally, I see you everywhere on my TV, you
I'm
know.
so sorry. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really processed that. I feel it's yeah, it's really just mind-boggling and such a blessing, man. And I, especially with Fargo, it's such a different character to Yellowstone, so it's been fun to really kind of go back to back and and yeah, with Louis Vuitton as well. I'm just kind of all the time. I'm like, what am I doing here? How is this happening? And they've
And
been such a family to me.
you've been working in the industry a really long time. I mean, when did you start? For those who don't know.
Yeah, okay. So my first job was One Tree Hill when I was 13. Yeah, so it's been a minute.
Amazing.
I'm old.
Amazing. No,
Yeah.
first of all, that's iconic. That's iconic.
Actually, my sister, who's 8 years younger, she just watched One Tree Hill for the first time in quarantine. So she was like, "Oh my God, Kels, you're such a nerd!" Like it was a trip for her to, yeah, go back in time like that.
So you've been working since you were 13, and you've been back to back to back in successful stuff. I mean, it's really incredible. Has there been a favorite of yours, maybe besides the one you're working on now, because it's the obvious, but has there been a memory that really for you holds up as like this was an experience that really, has meant something to me?
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. I mean all of them I have a really, a fondness for. I think Wind River is a project that I'm especially proud of. And I think that was something that was really great about Yellowstone is it was a lot of the same cast and crew. So, we've been working together for really over 4 years now. Yeah.
I'm really curious how our industry is going to change with everything that's been going on. You're in it, firsthand experience, literally sort of seeing different practices and ways of working unfold. I've had some experience with it myself, working a lot this summer. Um, do you think, how do you think the industry is going to change forever, or do you think it will revert?
I mean, I think it goes to show also, I mean, we're so adaptable, you know, it's been, uh, we've really been hit with something that's, you know, I mean, really once in a lifetime. And I think to see how the industries come back stronger, more, and more inclusive, I think that hopefully it will come back, yeah, better and stronger.
Do you think, I was having actually this, this is just, I'm personally curious because I was having this debate last night. Do you think that come spring or summer next year, we are going to be required as artists to sort of either sign away, like, you know, come at your own risk to work, or you have to get the vaccine? Or do you think that's going to be something that's going to impact our industry? I know it's like something a lot of people are like talking about right now.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I mean, the great thing is, I mean, the Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, they've been so great during this process where you really feel, you feel protected, you feel very safe. And I think that, so I think that even when, um, you know, when the vaccine comes into play, that they're gonna have those protocols set so that, um, to figure out the really the best way, the safest way to go back to work.
Where are you from? Like, I actually really want to know this. Like, I don't know much about like the beginning. I know I've known you since One Tree Hill in terms of like knowing who you were. Um, where did you come from, and where's your family from?
My origin story. I'm from South Carolina originally. And yeah, born and raised. Actually, I'll go back there after I'm done. I really miss my family. My sister's in New York with me. She goes to school, but the rest of my family is there. So yeah, I really miss them. I've been here for a couple months, and it's time to go back and see them.
And have you been able to see them since sort of lockdown COVID, or will this be the first time?
No, so I went home. I was in Brooklyn for most of quarantine, and then I went home for several weeks to check in and see everybody. So I'll go do the same when we're done here.
I want to hear more about Fargo because I mean
Okay.
that is, first of all, it's incredible. I mean, the show itself is, you know, next level, and this cast that you're a part of is next level. So, what has this experience been for you? Like, what was a like? When did you find out you got it? What was that process like? And then filming it. Just tell me everything.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love talking about Fargo. Let's see. So I was actually I was working on Yellowstone last summer, and my mom came to visit, and I had auditioned. I had to send in a tape for Fargo. And I remember we had, because my character's really out there. She's kind of this like very wild, very southern outlaw, maybe not a very good one. And so we just had a ball taping this audition. And I remember being like, okay, I am either this is really out of left field. Like, am I even gonna are they even gonna look at this? And then a couple weeks later, I got a call to meet with Noah, and so I flew into Chicago where we were shooting, and met him. And he's just done such an incredible job translating the Coen Brothers movie into TV. And just has really made it work in just such an incredible way. And so then I don't know, I think it was right after that I was on set, and just had the best time. And it's like you said, this cast is just unbelievable. I was kind of starstruck by everybody, and like taking notes, and it was something really different than I had done before, the character. And And then I have to shout out my partner in crime, my lady love, is Karen Aldridge in the show, who is just exceptional, and just someone who's she's stuck with me for life.
What would you say has been your favorite memory from shooting that show? Like, is there one moment where you're like,
Oh my
that
goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, actually, so my parents came to see Fargo. It was right before the shutdown too. So I got to like wine and dine them in Chicago, which I'd never been to Chicago before, and I loved it. Yeah, and so we just had a great time. They came on a set, and I remember my dad, it was like this one scene where I'd let him read the script to see what was going on in the scene, and he was like, Kels, I thought you're supposed to, you know, uh, shoot him and do this. And I was like, no, 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 Dad, that's in the final cut. You're going to sit here for a while before that happens.
that's so cute. Have your parent have your parents always been supportive of you acting? I know you've done it since you were basically a kid. So is that something that you wanted to do? Did they put you into it, or
Yeah, honestly, really have. It was so funny because I started so young, my dad was always like, as long as you make good grades, Kels, that then it's fine with me. And I've kind of, I guess, really stayed with that because I'm still in college. But no, the best thing that my parents gave me was they gave me the gift of possibility. My mom always was like, yeah, why not? Why this can happen? We can do this. I mean, you can do this. So yeah, I always really have to acknowledge them because this industry is a tough one to navigate at times, and they've really been a great support system.
remind me, what are you studying? Because I did know this, and I just
Yeah.
forgot. What
So I'm studying human rights. Um, yeah, I just took a summer semester during the pandemic, a virtual one, and I don't know. I guess as I get older, my brain's also much slower. I can't keep up with the kids these days, but it was especially with what's going on in the world, it was such a nice like virtual space to kind of, especially studying human rights, kind of figure out the best way forward with especially with COVID.
what is the best way forward? Because I'm dying to know. I mean, like you said, what's going on in the world is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess that's definitely a work in progress, but it's also figuring out sustained ways to take care of places, not only raise awareness, but of, places like the Navajo Nation, who were really greatly affected by COVID, but also, yeah, finding ways to help everyone with COVID, make the vaccines accessible and relief and care and healthcare available to everyone.
I agree. Well, Kelsey, it's been amazing talking to you. I don't want to take up any more of your precious
Oh,
time, but it's been so nice to see your smile and to see
so nice.
working, which is incredible. Like, honestly.